Look, we've seen, it was Mimi actually who said it on the desk, that loss on Split for XSET has to be devastating. How do you regain mental and turn your attention to IceBox?
Yeah, especially a map that they just don't lean on that much. I mean, this year they're 1-1, right? They barely play this map at all. So it's going to be hard for them to bring that back out, but that's what the guard, that we've been hailing the guard for being good at, right? XSET hasn't really gotten the opportunity to play in moments like this. Backs against the wall and a real chance, but now terrible position on the guard's map pick.
Well, the nice thing is they have almost everyone that could possibly want on A. Defensively, it's just Cryo on the opposite side, and they're getting the kills that they're looking for. As BCJ and Second have already gotten a pair. How much more can they find? Def overwhelmed. Falls, and the kills aren't going their way anymore, man. It's just Cryo that's left.
So much delay too. Trent's it's very low. Actually, both of these guys are low. Cryo too, though.
Oh, he's gonna get the timing. There's no way he gets this. Trent is weak. Cryo is too. Trent falls down. Remember Trent in 1v1s. He's insane. Added, is it Trent time once again? Cryo with the snap, and Cryo gets 3. That flick was filthy.
So fast. And again, the low HP comes into a massive factor. Trent might have gotten 3 kills there, but the aggressiveness ended up taking a toll on them. Also, just a little bit of messed up execution there. Saya missed his dash. They sit in the nade from Zekin, and that's got to hurt. And guard on the approach on the pistol. Cryo with a 1v3 as well.
Yo, he has 6 bullets in his headhunter. The confidence.
I wonder
the bravado.
Which teammate he picked that up off of. He's like, yeah, I'll take this. Off your dead body.
This is better.
I could do this better than you.
Dude just likes to play the game on hard mode, I guess.
I guess so. And talking about the comp differences, though, I think that this is like, well, XSET, yeah, they changed. Def is not playing the chamber. That's what he used to play. Obviously, Cryo's slotting into that role and not leaning on the jet. But it's something they're comfortable with. I think the core of this comp works pretty much the same outside of just having a KO. They don't have a Sage, and they've been playing with a Raze before.
Both Viper walls split up the site. Almost a perfect cutout of where the spike can be planted, and the Ghost isn't going to find the same magic it did in the previous round. Side player decapitates Cryo.
Get the wall plant off. Sai is dangerous in these situations. He's so good with the Marshal, but he's deleted himself.
Aaron's able to find one with the Spectre. Only pistols on the side of the guard. As the spike ticks away and you see the net is taking safety, he's backed up. You imagine here that XSET should be able to just bully their way through this with the gun advantage, but Trent again makes something happen. And Aaron swings around with 3 of his own, and Net's not gonna get it as Aaron gets 4 on the round. That was way closer than I think anyone expected, Ball.
Especially after the first kill from Saya.
Yeah.
And XSET come away with it anyways. So they got the site, they got the plant. That was missing on their comeback run on the attack side in the beginning of that downfall of them where they lost 5 in a row. See how they spread this out a lot more. I mean, Split, they played really passively at the beginning until they got a hold and an understanding of how XSET was playing that defensive side.
Whoa.
They call for a timeout early. I think something right now. They've got to get... Usually when I see this, right, it's surprising. It's early.
Yeah.
This is something going on in the camp, right? Has to be. They have to...
Surely.
Somebody's discussing something. Somebody's... I don't know. Have to settle a little argument about what next to do. I mean, that's the type of thing that I'm thinking about is happening right now. Even though this should be somewhere where the generic plan that they're going to go into with the game should just be led to, right? You should just go for whatever you were planning.
Oh, to be a fly on the wall to listen to this conversation. Again, the guard call a timeout early here in the opening half of IceBox.
We're just going to the first gun round.
Yeah.
I mean...
Now, what's interesting?
This should be the one where we're like excited to play. You know, this is like, let's go. We got guns now.
Yeah. I do wonder. So again, remember that both bonuses were won on Split.
Yep.
So there's just something to keep in the back of your mind. It does not look like XSET have the same firepower they previously had, as it's still 2 pistols to work with. And it's a heavy stack towards B long here. While the guard, they should be able to mosey their way into A for almost nothing.
Yeah, BCJ is literally almost saving in this round.
Yeah.
But they've got at least still one molly and a shock dart for BCJ. I think that's where they're just focus their attention. No, Aaron just uses it early. They're not on site yet.
Note that Trent also has a Hunter's Fury round 3, which is just a testament to how he's effectively farmed his way into being down 0-2. Shock dart just narrowly missing. Oh boy. Restack down low, and now the nade's there. The flash, that's gonna cause problems. Look at how weak Jonah B gets. Now he's got a second nade in his lap. Saya gets away with 17 HP. His neck gets 2 big ones.
Second position, he could have gotten shot there, but he jumps in heaven instead. They regroup down where it's been cleared.
Saya and Trent are both so weak, but again, Trent has the Hunter's Fury, so he can play off, and Saya gets 2 to extinguish any sort of problems as the guard get on the board.
And I really like that use of utility from XSET, but the guard outthink them. They used a paint shell and the fragment from KO from Def to land in that corner on the other side of that wall. And eventually, I mean, Net's kills ended up closing up the round, but Second could have done damage there, and he turns his back thinking, there's no way somebody's still here.
Not with those 2 nades, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought for sure they were dead.
I thought so too, but they didn't cover, right? They layered those. So that burst damage came in ways that they could dodge. Oh! That's
Cryo slips through. He's got the operator too. Are they expecting him this close? He's within range of his rendezvous. Here's footsteps. One goes up and he has to get away.
Interesting that Saya ends up updrafting there instead, but they've got the KJ ult. KO nade's gonna break that instantly though.
And if it wasn't KO's nade, Zekin had thrown a satchel over the wall too. No longer a factor. The operator still in play here for Cryo.
Plan is falling apart after that KJ ult. Little preemptive. He hasn't seen anything on the other side, the B site. Aaron just dropped his hit, expecting, hey, if they didn't get that KJ ult, then they're probably going to fall back, but the hit's still on A.
Saya, the tip of the spear, he finds Zekin as Def with the Guardian, not able to land the shots that he's looking for, but BCJ might be able to. No. He gets dropped. Trent's in this 1v2. And Cryo's got an op. The spike just out of reach, too. He's not really in a position to be able to pick it up and get it down quickly. So he's going to have to slip in behind enemy lines undetected. Cryo not looking his way as Trent drops down. He spots the barrel. There are 11 seconds left, and Cryo swings out and gets the 4th with the op as XSET get 3.
That last shot ridiculous that he peeks into where he knows Trent is holding. And then also that spam through the box onto, well, who was it? Net? Yeah, watch this shot. After BCJ spots him cross, Nets gets the kill.
One enemy remaining.
That's ridiculous.
A gift.
What a round from Cryo. But again,
He's able to carry that op in. He's got the tour de force to work with, too.
the guard, they went for that Killjoy ult. And their follow-up was just to hit A, and that kind of could have worked. Whoa, look at Cryo's position. He's so far back. Does he have an angle, actually, on the cross? No. But Zekin's there to receive.
There it is. There's the angle he was looking for, and the showstopper gets 2. As Zekin gets 3 on the round. There wasn't much behind this push out from the guard. It was a sage wall, try to go fast, hit under tube, and it just kind of whimpers to an end.
I've never seen that angle from Cryo as well. You see where his TP is up on the spawn side, while Trent tries to get something done, but a 1v4, not going to happen for sure. I want to look at, I want to see how that looks when he actually ends up fighting something. It's the interesting part about this game, right? Sometimes you come up with something new, and you never end up being able to use it because you just don't walk into it. The fun part about it for me, this is, I've seen a lot of, new stuff from Cryo. The chamber stuff is easy to overlook in terms of like, oh, where's he putting his rendezvous? Where's the angles that he's getting? But I saw a lot of it on Split. Even though Cryo wasn't having the biggest of impacts, I mean, he definitely did down the line, just not able to convert. I'm not used to seeing XSET put that much thought into the minutia, right? I think this is a team that really focuses on their fundamentals, focus on their comms, how to keep things really clean. And I think that's the reason why they're successful. But obviously, this time in the meta, so much new.
One enemy.
Got to keep getting every advantage you can.
I am not.
And it's working for him. 9-2 to start.
And the guard again are in a position where they can't buy very much. They felt like they didn't have much to work with in the previous round either.
Good knife. It's deep enough that it's knowing that there's somebody walking up tube.
Yeah.
And that stops him in his tracks. You're going to get droned as well. The hit is actually coming towards A. They don't have a wall to do much here. And with just pistols, this is going to be a slaughterhouse.
Shock dart landing through as Trent tries to go up top, and he's dropped right back down. Yeah, there's not much here. You. Okay.
There we go.
It's never as clean as it should be.
Yeah, sure. I mean, when the players of this caliber, the flawless rounds are going to come few and far between. That's why it's very exciting when they happen. But the shots from Net, he's on right now. And also, VCJ there, combining his shock darts with the molly. And hitting a shock dart as we're pushing. VCJ was fantastic in that first game. A reason why XSET managed to get as far as they did. But he slowed down in the confidence, so he steps up again. Especially with the ults, with the ingenuity, with the stuff that we know from BCJ. The shock darts are clean. XSET again are making such a read. They've left B completely. Def is pretty much the only guy who could do anything, and I think with the normal command, he expects to be able to delay a long time. That's getting the orb right now.
You should run.
Yeah, it's the second lockdown in what feels like almost back-to-back rounds. We'll see if he's able to clear it out. He is. Now the Viper's Pit has to be dealt with. Zekin able to spam one through, and that falls. The advantage that they had is almost instantly.
One enemy remaining.
As this all of this, it just feels like a slaughter on the site.
And the strengths of the comp, the strengths of Killjoy on this map specifically. I think she has a non-mirror, which actually happens a lot. She doesn't get picked that often. Her non-mirror win rate is something like 60-70%, which is very, very, very high. But the reason for it is the lockdown, and they haven't gotten any value out of it so far.
We were worried about mental and how devastating of a loss it would have been, and when you take a look at the score, you'd almost expect that XSET had won the previous map, and they had navigated the mess that was the end of that. But it's really, I mean, it's the guard who just kind of seem like they're in shambles and haven't been able to find any sort of anything that they're looking for. You mentioned the lockdown; it has found no value.
I mean, Shambles is right. They just used two ults right there that are power ults on this map, power ults on the A site, and neither of them got value. The Viper's Pit is almost more important than the Killjoy ult in that case. And the Killjoy ult popped a little early there, knowing that the Hunter's Fury is alive. So you're thinking right now, the guard, what are they thinking? For the first time now, XSET making the read to play inside this B lane. And it's going to pay off in dividends. We've got two players here. Specifically, Zekin with his nade can just cause so much chaos in this tight, confined space.
Yeah. Ed has made his way to 410. We'll see if it ends up being a timing thing and they flip the map back. That might be the cue to push them back. The drone spots one. Zekin falls, but they're going in anyway. Zekin satchels away and he tries to stay alive. With 10 HP, he does. Cryo swings back out and gets one with the op.
Where did Cryo come from? Same question. Where did Net come from? That was clinical. Def delaying with the fragment and getting tagged by the drone. Cryo getting there in time with his TPs as well. Just great stuff from XSET to defend.
Shot down. Scanning ahead.
30 seconds.
So Zekin was the weakest. Still full health and full armor on the remaining 3 members of XSET, and that's just a bit too much for Trent.
Yep.
As XSET get to 7 in ball, I really thought once you saw the drone come out and spot Zek in, once you saw some of the utility come through, I really expected the guard to flip back towards A, but it seemed like the intent was always for Net to catch the lurk timing and try to pinch in. It just didn't manifest.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was chaotic. The reason I say recover is because of the original thing that happened, right? Zek gets the first kill, he's trying to satchel out, he almost dies for it. But his teammates throw their body in the line for it.
A gift.
Just watching where Cryo plays. And watching the kill counter as well. For the guard, because, I mean, it feels like that's all their strats have revolved around so far.
Yeah.
Outside of that random mid-split that they went for into the showstopper.
Yeah, you're right, Ball. I feel like they've had a lot of ultimates. They've had the lockdown twice. Trent, again, a point away from his Hunter's Fury, but it just hasn't netted them the advantages that you would expect it to.
Well, that might be in part because of the drone nerf. Even some teams leading away from Sova right now, but
yeah.
Just can't get close enough. That's a high shoulder peek, and Cryo's adjusted now. He's going to just back off a little bit, change the angle up, and that's gorgeous stuff. Doesn't hit the shot, but that's exactly what you need to do. Look at Net's position. He's cleared a lot of space up the B lane and found out that XSET is cheating on these A hits.
This might be the opener that guard need. No, Net trying to get to safety and cover eventually meets his demise. Now you've got a Molly in the lap. Is not able to push through that. They have to wait to get the spike down.
30 seconds left.
Wall gets spammed through Valen.
Spike planted.
My goodness, the confidence, the boldness. That must have felt like an eternity. Cryo still has the op. Saya does too. The cloud burst. Saya tries to go up top. Oh, what a shot out from Cryo! Oh, it's a 5v3 in favor of XSET. They've got plenty of options on how they want to approach this retake. The guard are going to have to hold fast here if they want to get a shot at this thing. Trent's up, finds one. Jonah P falls at the end as Aaron gets 3. This is brutal.
Absolutely it is. Trent was like, hold on, I'll pick up the op that Saya dropped. And he just gets naded out of position. I mean, there's so much utility to displace from XSET. And it kind of feels like there's just not for the guard. And that setup, look at this peek from Cryo. You can't, Saya can't see him. That smoke a little too close to his angle.
What did Cryo see?
Yeah,
That's what I want to know.
he's just high enough. I think you can see him there. That smoke was really unfavorable, even though it got him into that position. He's trying to peek over it, and I think the idea is great, but hold that thought. They're going for, again, that mid-split, I think. Just not as fast.
Dart not tagging anything, so BCJ doesn't grab any info other than the eruption of gunfire used to clear it out.
This drone needs to be broken before it spots anybody except Net, and it does. I am a little worried for this split if it goes the same way. Zek can one off his showstopper, and there's plenty of targets once they actually commit to a mid-split.
Dead again. The Lone Ranger, who's tasked with trying to get some space A. He's gotten up to 410. That's the easy part. The swing out from mid, BCJ, and Trent trying to kill a piece. They understand their push is coming. Def's able to get one with the flash, and then the fragment to push them back and keep them away. The spike should get into A for free.
Seconds got out of sight. While that kill happens, they've got to clear Trent out.
And it may be Cryo to be the one to do it. They drop around him. He's got a Molly behind him, and there he goes. Trent falls. 3v2 here, still in favor of XSET as Jonah P and Ned are the 2 that remain. Second, but the showstopper lands right onto Jonah P. Trent left in a 1v3. He's got some, yeah, that should clear out any bit of utility that was left. Just gonna have to be the gun out from Net. Full health, full armor, and he gets tagged up. Not favorable here. Zekin swings out. Zekin gets 3 on the round. And XSET seemed to be able to do no wrong.
I mean, that was bold from Zekin. You said there was no opportunity for him right there, but that was a risk. Zekin just walked through a Viper wall of his own. He's not taking any decay there, but still, I mean, wow.
Weak, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't healthy.
I do like the play from him as that mid hit came in, right? As BCJ fell, for him to get out of sight because the pinch came from the guard, and that was a good idea. But if he stuck in sight and tried to fight, that could have caused problems for them to not only clear out, who was it, Trent and mid, but also on the retake.
Get out of my way.
This is not the, ooh, okay, there is something found. That's surprising. XSET was prepped coming to this series. That's something that Sai goes for almost every single game.
Get him.
Zekin has to throw it in reverse with the satchels to get to safety and tucks behind yellow. Remember, there are no guns really on the side of the guard. For all intents and purposes, it didn't look like Zekin had one there either.
Down B.
Numbers continue to crumble, but now XSET's reinforcements have arrived as BCJ is able to take care of one, a 3v3 on the site. We'll see if they can find anything off of this lockdown. They've got a res. They've got something cooking here. 4v2.
Yeah, plenty of bolts as well to stack on top of this. That should be very favorable, though. Viper spit and
Spike planted.
2 shock darts and a Hunter's Fury. I mean, just drop him. This is a round win, possibly right now. And they've collected a gun, too.
Yeah, and they've got it. I mean, at this point, they'll take anything they can get. Cryo pushing forward. Valen drops him. BCJ in a 1v4. Into the Viper spit. No utility to work with.
Enemy down.
He somehow finds that kill anyway. Sure, why not? 1.
3 gone.
Gets a second.
Enemy
No
remaining.
way. 3 bullets. The tap. BCJ left alone. Doesn't understand the players behind him. Now he's going to have to retap, and that should be the cue for Valen as he pushes his way forward, gets 3 on the round, and gets the round for the guard.
Last round in the half.
Still crazy that ECJ brought that back. And I was wondering, I'm like, they're up 4v2. I think they need to drop the ults to win the round. But if this goes bad, they've just invested a lot to win their first round in a long time. So I'm thinking money and ult situation as they go into this gun round that they've been struggling so hard to get to. It's going to start to get rough. But it's last round of the half anyways.
That's such a 50-50 play, bro. If BCJ sticks that, there's a chance that he takes it. Because there was just no... Valen didn't believe it for 1 second. Viper Spit used early on A from Aaron. You see the drone just cleared out mid-map, too. No information gathered.
This is what worked for them. I mean, they lost the round when they went up through mid, but having multiple people flanking through the smoke ended up causing a lot of problems for the A side. This time, though, they've committed so much. It looks like they want to. Break the trademark, sure. Might pull something off, but XSET's already primed and ready for somebody pushing on beyond this. They don't have a drone to push off the Viper's pit either. Aaron right now. So much delay.
Knife just hit Valen in 2, and that was enough to draw them back towards kitchen a little bit, but now you look at your minimap and you see Zekin satcheling his way, trying to get back into A as soon as possible. Cryo's got the op back sight. Valen may have slipped his way in to hit a trap just at the right time. Nice flick onto BCJ. That was pretty. Cryo's left in a 1v4. He's got the operator. 37 HP. The flick onto Trent is good. Upgrades to a Vandal. Still not healthy. Not going to do it. A 9-3 half, and it really, it could have been worse, but the guard reach. They dig deep. They get those 3 rounds. We're going to throw it to a break. We'll be right back. The guard made a run at things to close out that half, but Ball, let's be honest, XSET, they clapped him. They smacked him. That was ugly.
Yeah, this is a subversion of expectations. I mean, we haven't seen this map in so long, and this was guard's best map last split, right? In stage 1, they went undefeated on this map. They were the first guys to really do anything special. They were 9-0 in stage 1. They only lost once on this map to Optic. So both maps just getting what looks to be flipped at this point. The guards still have a chance here on defense.
Yeah, but at least map 1 was close, right? It was interesting.
Yeah.
This one has just been, it's been ugly in a lot of ways. We'll see if XSET can take care of things here on the attacking half. Def's already found the opener as they try an aerial assault through ropes.
Ooh, that burns.
Oh, that's gonna hurt. Yep.
Spike down.
Doesn't feel good. Great response out from Net.
And that's the defensive Viper move. Smoke as well. Yeah, I mean, you can see already not having a stage is costing them right now.
Yeah. It's good info gathered. They still have time to flip the map if they want to, but no, the guard, they're able to hold the defensive line and try to keep them back.
Why?
BCJ in 2v2 alongside Zekin.
Spike
He's
down
left alone
A.
in this one.
One
Valence
enemy
weak. He
remaining.
gets it down to a 1v1. Spots Trent. Once again, the Sovas, both whiffing shots, not able to land it, and Trent wins it again. The 1v1 goes his way as the guard win the pistol.
I mean, that was really odd, though. They get the spike down after the molly, right? And they wall up, and they just push on the left side. I kind of like that, but once the trades go in their way, they get 2 kills in that. I think it was a 5 versus 2 at some point in that round. And they just continue to push. Once jumping over the wall, that definitely could have gotten dicey. But still, winning the pistol, that's all they need.
Yeah. Well, a little more than that.
All right, you know what I meant. We'll take the win.
They'll take the round win, and now they take this gun advantage into the 14th round as it's just pistols and a Marshall in the hands of Def. Remember, he was the one who had the opener in the previous round. Now he goes on this exploratory voyage of the middle of the map, and there is an alarm bot, thank you, observers, just around the corner.
Good coverage from Net on both lanes of mid. Don't have to commit a body to it. They will anyways, of course.
Drone spotted 2.
Oh, that wall is
Just-
so
oh, no.
perfect. I mean, that is just on time.
Aaron's so close to slipping his way through, and it's probably all for the best that he didn't make his way through. He would have been isolated.
And they dynamically put down the nano there onto the site, thinking that it's going to be an A hit. And he already has one on B, so again, great coverage from Net. He's spread as this Killjoy
30 seconds.
very, very wide.
Standing ahead.
They have Viper mollies here as well. I can't see a way that they can get the spike down. They have no Sage Wall again.
And now they don't have a controller. BCJ standing on a molly. Shock darts, nades, 13 seconds left. Time's not on their side.
10 seconds left.
And then they're getting dinged from Valen across the map. There's not much here for them.
Remaining.
Good stuff. Great stuff from the guard there. They play that anti-eco almost flawlessly. Also, there's Saya falling to the one shot deep down that B lane. They control the push onto A with that wall from Jonah P. Perfectly timed to keep Aaron out. And he leaks from getting into the site. And then they just have everything they need to delay with only, what, 25 seconds left? Sure, BCJ ended up getting the spike down, and that is important. But no chance of winning that round at all. I think that was like kind of the goal for them, was like, let's just get this down. And I think the guard did fumble a little bit in how they staggered their utility, but again, we'll take those.
Revealing area.
Josiah with the Sheriff. The rest of the guard with 4 Spectres to them. And again, a very similar spread out from the previous round. You talked a couple of times, Ball, about how Net has so effectively made his presence known across really the entire map, right? Yep. You've got Nano, you've got the alarm bot mid, you've got the turret in the kitchen. Now he should be able to set up his second alarm bot A, covering effectively everything. There it is. Gets cleared out, or used instantly, excuse me, as XSET dance around it.
Oh, with the slow too, that could be dangerous, but BCJ's punting really wide. Nobody there to challenge.
And the utility doesn't land there. It's such an uncommon land spot.
BCJ's one off his Hunter's Fury. He's running away right now. If he catches the flank, that could be round over.
There might be a chance at it. Saya with the with the Sheriff, excuse me, tags a couple. Trent swings out as the kills erupt. It's just Saya. He's got that Sheriff, dashes forward, and manages to land the shots onto BCJ.
Time running out.
How much more can he find? Yeah, he's just got it full go. No questions asked.
This is nothing.
If he sticks this and it
Is
cover
Aaron
it
gonna
well.
get away though?
Last player standing.
No. It only had a. What did he have? He had a Vandal. Oh no. That was a bonus from the guard. Not converting it. The first time, I think, so far this series. Oh, XSET didn't convert their bonus either on IceBox. in the first half. So I think in that case, I mean, there was plenty of opportunities for XSET to win that round, and even on the approach on the site, Cryo goes crazy to hold it down.
Take flight.
It's the Hunter Siri that you called. Was on the tag. Is he going to be able to find Trent? No, it doesn't look like he is. Little info gathered, but that's all it was.
Spots net playing mid, but that's nothing different. I look at the rest of the ults on this side, and we talk about nets and how he's spreading wide. That's going to be important when Def gets his ult up. And that might just be this round, but has to get through Sai, who's holding a really tough angle to clear on top of yellow. But one recon bolt will do. Activate his dash, though.
And I don't know. Yeah, he's not even going to get a chance at that thing. Now with that, XSET turn their attention towards A. It's a 5-stack that way. You see the dart comes through, gets cleared out, doesn't get any info. Jonah P's wall is now no longer a factor, as you see the dump of utility across 410. And now with that, XSET push their way forward. And Jonah P's able to take care of one before falling. Trent still trying to make it happen, and no, he's not able to. There's the command. Sai is left in this 1v3 with an operator. He's going to save it.
That no command coming out was at the perfect time, too. I didn't think they were going to use it after Def got the first kill, but Net had a molly on that spike. I think they even cleared it, though. I actually don't see it on the minimap anymore. I know he didn't pop it. So, XSET really thinking about everything right now. And already seeing that set up once, they're like, okay, we just have to clear it. Shock darted or whatever it might have been. Actually, it might have been the nade from Def, too. Either way, Saya has to stay alive with this, and it looks like he will. They're not even chasing, not one bit. Yeah. And they have to do something about the A hit. That's where XSET's leaning. They're only poking over towards the B site with the dart.
You wonder here, Ball, as we go back.
Aaron again.
as we think back to split, I think one of the things that kept guard within reach was the lead was not big. It was not so big that it was insurmountable.
Yeah.
Right? They were able to work their way back into this. But remember, it was a 9-3 half, now an 11-5 stat line. Like this is teetering on unreachable.
Yeah, sure. I mean, this is very close to that the deficit that the guard came back from on split. Remember, that was 6-11. Something also, I mean, we were laughing about Aaron dying, but that has a massive impact. He has only a Spectre now in this round, where they've won 2 in a row.
Saya on the dash, and he gets dropped instantly. Nice shot out from Cryo. Trent on the tap. He's got to go. He's got to run away. Cryo pushes forward. He's got a room by everything thrown his way, and Trent not able to find solace, not able to find safety.
And they just rotate. That's a great decision. I mean, I dug this map. You're right. The deficit's large, but I also don't think there's even a comeback brewing. XSET is playing these attacking side rounds so well after the pistol, since they countered and won that first gun round. Everything's working from them. These executes that they're throwing out are so strong.
It's just Valen here on the site. Well, it was just Valen on the site. He ultimately falls. Also, quick, worth noting that they hand the spike over to Aaron, who now has the Viper's Pit online. So that'll become a factor in the next round. See if there's any way the guard can find their way back into this. They've made it a 2v2. And Net has his lockdown. So careful about everything, and that's the thing when you have no information. You've got to check every single corner. Jonah P left in this 1v2, tries to snap around as Def gets 3, and XSET gets him at point.
IGL still playing so aggressive. We saw it on split. There. They push all the way to Snowman while Spike's planted in default, right? Spike's planted in the normal position. You see it right there. And then they played 2 in Snowman on this one. You can see Net's aware that there's one over there. But Jonah P's looking for somebody else. He thinks that they have a crossfire setup in Snowman. And that just breaks it all down. And Def is just peeking into it. Hard to deal with. And final timeout. Well, potentially final timeout here from the guard. They've got to figure it out. Whether it's aggression that they need. Whether it's Saya player to just come online and take over a round. You said it was flat, and I'm assuming that the team is feeling flat right now as well. After winning such a decisive comeback to now this on one of their best maps where nothing has changed, honestly, outside of Net not playing Chamber. Instead, he's playing Killjoy, which is not something that's new to them either.
Well, it just kind of goes back to what we were talking about at the end of the previous map, right? Throw all expectations out the window.
Yeah.
Expect the unexpected. Nothing is known anymore.
Sure. I mean, the couple rounds that they've won on defense definitely felt like, old. I hesitate to say old guard because, I mean, live in the present, and they looked great on split.
Yep.
And last week as well, they looked good. You don't say
Want to
great,
play?
but
Let's
good.
play.
Good enough to get the win for sure.
And the Des was talking about how Saya being a little flat in the game one was actually a good thing as he falls. But sure, they're able to win without him, but without him, this team isn't as good as I mean. That's just a empty platitude. But he's still missing.
Yeah,
the most consistent player on this team is still missing here in this series.
That's just the reality of the roster, right? There are certain teams that are built around allowing your star to go do star-esque things, and then there are some that are where the fame, if you will, the clutch, the playmaking is a bit more spread out. For the guard, while they had semblances of being able to do that in the previous stage, just hasn't been that way this time.
Yeah, I'd argue last stage was not carried by Saya at all. He was a big factor.
Yeah, exactly.
Either way. That's a good peek, okay. Res online as well. For if they start to get more peaks, Jonah P is really good at finding these little walls that he can find angles like this. But he just he hasn't had a chance to use them yet. He has one on A, he has one on B. Neither side have been able to use it at all.
This is actually a really good defensive setup from the guard. You've got the Viper's Pit denying A, you've got Jonah P in the wall B, and then you have KJ utility mid, and that just been cleared out. Trent is on the flank, just on the other side. If he gets the timing right, this is going to be devastating. Net gets 3. Viper's Pit goes down, and Cryo falls 2. The setup was there. It was pretty. The guard get to 6.
I'm sorry, but can I see that boombot again? What just happened? That thing rolled right into his feet. Okay. I mean, great round still. You called it out. It's on him. Hello? Hello?
What?
Oh, the Viper's Pit went off. And this is a bug or something right there, but the Viper's Pit went off covered where he's at. So it thinks it's in the Viper's Pit, I think. I'm going to guess that's what's happening. That's the only explanation I can think of.
Man.
Well, what else is it? It's at his feet. Why didn't it explode?
He obviously levitated. That's the only logical explanation
Wingardium
here.
Leviosa.
Either way, he stays alive, gets big kills. Now he's got the lockdown. And it's, I mean, it's going to be quite the task for the guard to just to get us to overtime, but they got one.
If it takes a boombot not blowing up, then we're in rough shape. And they've kind of stuck with the same setup. I mean, sure, sometimes Valen's over here, but they're using the same Killjoy setup. That's abusable. That's readable. And then on A, this is a little different. Trent in a little aggressive position, but he can't fall back. This is tradable.
Knife moving away, Trent. Yeah, just had to get out of there. He had no choice. Now the rest of XSET in full force start to barrel their way towards A. There's just the molly, or excuse me, the alarm bot from Net that's intended to delay things, and it does just that. Now they've got the lockdown. The lockdown locks down the site.
Spike planted.
Or at least tries to, as it gets destroyed, actually. Not able to find any value off that at all. I don't think we've seen one go through. Saya dashing forward. Spike ticking away. The second's already fallen. You have one shock dart out from BCJ and one molly out from Aaron, and it was just used.
Much.
There's a shock dart, too. Cigar tried to fight forward. Valen not able to even get it to half. As it's all falling onto Jonah P. Left in this 1v4, and a Cryo the third. As it's a 13-6 slaughter. Really is what it was on IceBox. The nice thing is that tees us up very nicely for Haven on the other side.